Battle Through the Heavens. Grand World. Chapter 272. The elders were gathered. Shaoyan squinted his eyes when he heard this. His palm lightly caressed the trial scroll in his hand. Just as he was about to speak, Zhu Kun had already taken a step forward and loudly said, "Elder Wu, you can be considered a third-grade elder of the academy." The students don't believe it. When Elder Fang Yun, brought us to the academy, he didn't tell you about the appearance of a saint-rank trial participant. When Elder Wu heard this, his expression could no longer remain calm. His sharp eyes stared at Shaoyan. His lips seemed to be trembling, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. Seeing Elder Wu's puzzled gaze, Xiao Yan's heart was also filled with puzzlement. After hesitating for a moment, he threw the scroll in his hand towards Elder Wu. Shaoyan, if Senior doesn't believe me, please take a look at this scroll." Elder Wu received the trial scroll with a solemn expression. After seeing the appearance of the scroll, his expression became even more strange. This was the Yunlo Academy's trial scroll. Could it be that this fellow was impossible? Back then, he had clearly seen the bead that Fang Yun was holding shatter. That bead represented the saint-rank trial participant. Once the bead shattered, one would no longer be in this world. Although he was extremely puzzled, Elder Wu's heart could not help but beat rapidly. The moment he took the scroll, he tore it apart. The moment the scroll was torn apart, 10 brilliant rays of light suddenly shot out from within, illuminating Elder Wu's face. It was extremely dazzling. 10. Elder Wu's expression instantly froze when he saw the light. In the next moment, incomparable joy leaped out from his heart. He is actually still alive. Due to his excitement, Elder Wu's aura suddenly soared into the sky, sending the surrounding patrolling students flying one after another. Large patches of dust rose from the empty ground. Within the dust, Zhuanghe's face was unusually pale. The fury in his eyes had already dissipated, and what replaced it was endless astonishment. Back then, when he entered the academy, he had also experienced the tempering of the strength of the training scrolls. Naturally, he knew what the amount of light on it represented. In the past, he had only barely managed to reach 6 rays of light. He was already considered a genius by some of the elders in the academy. The symbol of 10 rays of light was something that even he could not imagine. When he heard Elder Wu mumbling to himself, Shaoyan frowned. He was actually alive. What did this mean? After a long time, Elder Wu finally calmed down. He took a deep breath and took a deep look at Shaoyan. Then, under the dumbfounded gazes of the surrounding people, he slowly cupped his fists and said in a clear voice, "Wu Changqing represents the elders of Yunlo Academy and welcomes the return of the saint-rank trial participant." As soon as the words left his mouth, the surrounding students were stunned. Even Guyuan and Zhu Kun were slightly shocked by Elder Wu's performance. Although both of them knew the attitude of the academy towards the saint-rank trial participant, they didn't expect Elder Wu to be so straightforward. Not far away, when Zhuanghe heard Elder Wu's words, his face instantly turned from pale to ashen. After that, he opened his mouth and almost fell to the ground. As one of the 4 law-enforcing elders of the punishment department, even he would be shocked by Wu Changqing's usual solemnity. Today, he actually cupped his fists and greeted the saint-rank trial participant. Shaoyan was also slightly stunned when he heard this. After that, he hurriedly returned the salute and said, "This CEO was fortunate enough to not fail the mission. I have completed all 3 tasks of the holy rank trial." Wu Changqing took a deep look at Shaoyan when he heard this. His eyes were filled with shock. He nodded slightly and said, "Follow me. We are going to meet the elders." As he spoke, his sharp gaze swept across the empty space. Finally, it landed on Zhuanghe. When he saw the latter's appearance, he said in a deep voice, "Zhuanghe, temporarily hand over your position as the captain. After this, I will talk to you." After his words sounded, Wu Changqing cupped his hands towards Shaoyan. After which, he turned around and walked towards the entrance of the academy. When Shaoyan saw this, he did not hesitate. He nodded towards Zhu Kun and Guyuan before following closely behind. Guyuan and Zhu Kun looked around. The surrounding students were shocked and found it funny. The two of them nodded to each other and followed closely behind. Wu Changqing's words were like a thunderclap that exploded in Zhuang He's ears. It instantly caused the latter's entire body to soften. He was almost unable to stand up. The shock in his eyes gradually turned into hatred. He stared intently at Xiaoyan's back as he left. His 5 fingers were tightly clenched. Sharp nails were inserted into his flesh. Fresh blood was flowing out. Xiaoyan, Saint rank trial participant, HMPH. Even if you have extraordinary talent, you are only a monic spirit now. The roar of hatred kept echoing in Zhuang He's mind, causing his eyes to turn blood red. He would definitely get his revenge. The entrance to the Yunlo Academy was filled with flowing light. It was like a spatial whirlpool, confusing and confusing. After following Elder Wu into the vortex, Xiaoyan's vision blurred. In the next moment, a boundless field of vision was revealed. Looking up, it was as if a huge mountain had been split open. The valley below was boundless, and there were countless pavilions and pavilions, like a paradise. At this moment, the place where the two of them were standing was at the top of the valley. Looking down, one could see the bustling scene in front of them. Around the valley, there were countless mountain peaks piercing through the clouds. The surrounding clouds and mist curled up, making it seem like a paradise. At the end of his sight, his field of vision was open. Several tens of thousands of meters long waterfalls flowed backward, and steam rose. Even though they were thousands of miles away, he could still sense it. This is the Yunlo Academy. Xiaoyan looked down at the canyon below, and the pavilions stood tall. There was no end to it. Wu Changqing waved his sleeve and said in a low voice, "Follow me." As he spoke, his body flashed and he had already rushed along the mountain peak. Xiaoyan glanced at the valley below. Although he urgently wanted to see Zuna and Kailin, he had no choice but to follow Wu Changqing and leave. Elder Wu sent a voice transmission. "Why did you call us here?" "I'm not sure. I just received a voice transmission as well. Judging from the tone, it seems to be quite urgent." "Urgent? How many years has he been the law enforcement elder of punishment department? Why would he be anxious?" "Interesting." At the peak of the mountain, in a place surrounded by clouds and mist, several figures were flying over. Behind them was the monic aura. As they flapped their wings, they landed on the ground. Everyone was wearing gray robes. There were 3 golden bars on his chest. When they landed on the ground, they were already whispering to each other. "I heard that Yuan Tianmu has returned with Shen Tu's head. However, it seems like he has also used up a green explosive killing talisman." As he spoke, an old man with white eyebrows and black hair arrived from the sky. When he saw the elders, he smiled and said, "Elder Shao is here too." When they saw the newcomer, everyone was startled. The former was a second-grade elder of the Yunlo Academy, and Elder Wu had invited Elder Shao over for an urgent matter. "Shen Tu, you must be the second master of the Kangri group, right? I heard that he failed to break through to the Monic Emperor, but his strength is much stronger than an emperor's. With Yuan Tianmu's strength, defeating him won't be difficult. As for the green explosive killing talisman, although it's precious, with this battle record, I think we can exchange it for one." After hearing Elder Shao's words, the crowd also let out sighs of admiration. As expected of an elite from the realm in Valley, he did not take on any heavy responsibilities. Elder Shao, may I know why you called us here?" A relatively younger elder bowed slightly to Elder Shao and asked. Elder Shao smiled and shook his head. "I don't know either, but with his character, no big matter what, he wouldn't be so careless." An elder at the side chuckled when he heard that. Elder Shao is right. Given that fellow's personality, he's the most annoyed with this kind of gathering. This is the first time he has taken the initiative to contact us. The speaker was Elder Fang, who had recruited Xiaoyan and the others back then. After several years, his facial expression hadn't changed at all. Hey, he's here. Among the many elders, there was no lack of people with powerful spiritual strength. As they spoke, they could sense the fluctuations of the aura outside. 2 people. Why is there another monarch spirit? While everyone was feeling puzzled, the space in front of them rippled slightly. Elder Wu's figure appeared. The space behind him rippled once again, and a young man dressed in a black robe followed closely behind. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.